Hey everyone, welcome back. Our last guest is a flow artist, hooper, and founder of Sparrow International LLC, an organization that uses performance art as a form of political activism to unite police and the community to spread awareness on systemic trafficking. And here to share more, we welcome flow artist, hooper, and founder of Sparrow International LLC, Wilhelmina Sparrow. Hello and welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here. And I did mention to our audience that you are also a participant of this year's dance parade.
Yes.
And from our conversation, I understand this is your third year
Yes.
being a participant. And before we go into what you are going to be presenting, let's talk about how you were able to merge your political activism into your movement style.
Well, I went through a personal tragedy in my life. I lost my husband to cancer, and we was in a homeless shelter. And they withheld his cancer from him when they found it through the We Care program. And I was very angry, and I wanted to find a way to express what had happened to him, because I thought to myself, if this happened to us, this happened to others. And when systemic racism came about, and it became awareness definitely during the COVID, what happened was I wanted to address the process that a lot of people go through, especially when it comes to being driven to trafficking, because I felt this was part of me being targeted for trafficking. And when I went to go address law enforcement about this, the problem is the law enforcement doesn't get involved until the acts are committed, the crime is committed. And as a mother, I want to come from a preventive standpoint. So I decided to go back to school, study law, and find out how to use art as a form of political expression, because it was first used as a form to address my mental health, dealing with my grief.
You were doing it for therapeutic purposes.
Yes.
And then you were able to find a way to exercise the warrior in you.
Yes. Yes.
Simultaneously.
And I did. I found my armor sparrow through my art and flow art, and it's everything. I carry it. When I put on that hoop, I feel like I'm out there doing something good. I feel like I'm doing God's work.
I love the term flow art, right? Because you're working with a hula hoop, right?
Yes.
But really, it's about the energy and the way you're balancing in order to get it to move and manipulate it to stay.
Yes.
Right?
Well, yes. Flow art is actually a genre where you use a variety of tools along with your body to perform dance art.
Got it. You just happen to be a hooper.
Yes. Hooping is my tool.
Right. Got it. Thanks for breaking that down for us.
Thank you.
And thank you for just being candid and sharing and your, I guess, your motivation in choosing this path of really dismantling the system, right? I mean, that's the objective.
Well, yeah, I feel, especially with mental health awareness, I suffer PTSD. I'm a veteran, and I have to find ways to positively channel myself and channel my grief. And when I went through my grief, it was reactivated, and I was once again at a healing point of having to heal all over again. And I had to find a way to do that and raise 3 children. So I felt this was a positive way to channel that. Plus, I wanted to influence others, and I wanted to get into politics, and then through the process of being targeted for trafficking, a lot of times you get alienated and gaslighted. And also another thing is slut shamed. So I was always, stay in your place.
How do you know that you're being targeted?
They drive
within the system. No, if we could share with our viewers, like what were certain signs?
Well, one of the major signs is them weaponizing mental health. Let's address that since this is the topic of the month. What they do is they'll have traffickers infiltrate like social work services, therapists, areas where they identify your vulnerability, including the welfare system, anywhere that they can pretty much have access to your personal information, and then they exploit it. One of the exploitation processes saying that you can't raise your children because your traumas are too great, and weaponizing child protective services. And another way of doing that, and they break up many families this way. And then once they effectively break you up and break you down. They also gang stalk you. So now you're looking crazy. And then a lot of times when you see an individual like Mr. Neely going nuts in the train station, most likely they've been incited and instigated and triggered. And that's what they do. They weaponize your triggers. And now, because you're acting irate and quote unquote irrational,
Right.
You're alienated from the protective embrace of the community.
Right.
And then from there,
It's almost like a qualification. You have to qualify according to their standards.
yes, exactly. And they weaponize our judgment so well. And what happens is, from that point on, a trafficker will come in and be that person that you need, that ear you need, and provide you your needs for a short period of time to gain your trust. And then from there, they will force you into sex work, labor work, or any other form of work that they can feel they can exploit out of you.
Wow. It's a good thing you're becoming a lawyer.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. I'm not there yet. I'm halfway. I'm going for my BS City Tech. So,
But I love that it motivated you to do something about it.
yes, I was angry. And I think that's a positive way to channel our anger.
Right.
And I wanted to set an example, also influence our artists, the individuals who are living out there, going through the hardships, to, we're the innovators. Run for office.
Right.
And I want to set that example by using performance art as a political activism for political platforms.
I love that not only are you doing something with paper, right? Mm-hmm. And the power of the weapon,
Yes, the
right?
pen.
Because this is a very
That's my
powerful weapon. That's your sword.
That in Texas.
Yeah, I know. We had to modernize it, right? It's like, oh, well,
Oh, I snapshot everything. There's a file for everything. So.
Yeah, well, you gotta make sure you got hard copies.
Yes. Oh, trust me, my OCD makes sure of that.
So, and I hope everyone's listening from a deep place of understanding that the true conversation here is balance, because while she's pursuing her career as in legal, right, she's also exercising her craft as a flow artist, and the flow artistry is balancing out the anger issues that are driving her to actually pursue and be that voice. And so this is just my observation. I'm giving a breakdown because
Pretty
it's
accurate.
important. It's important, but it's important for all of us, just in our humanity, to understand that, you could be driven by an occupation, but you have to take care of yourself in the process.
Yes. Mm-hmm,
right? And so how do you do that? You have to find that.
yes.
And it's different for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the beauty is when you have some level of access to restoring it.
Yeah. Yes. And it's very important, especially with mental health, how to manage taking care of yourself, because you're taught in certain ways not to, especially the way things are in societies. Like, be humble. Yeah, but being humble doesn't mean you have to neglect your health, especially your mental health. Mm-hmm.
Right. And also to work, right? We're also conditioned to, define success by the amount of money you make, right?
Yes.
Because obviously money also determines our quality of life.
Well, that's luxurious, but to me, success is results.
Right, exactly, exactly. But what I'm saying in general, and so what happens is that people are working so that they can succeed,
Yes.
right, or feel successful. And again, to each his own, but I think the conversations that we've been having throughout this entire show is, well, really, where does that success truly lie within oneself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it really lies in joy and happiness. And is that a feeling that just naturally exists, or is it something that you work towards?
Well, I think it's something that you work towards. Your life's experience can shape that within you. And I mean, that's been my experience, I can say. So I've learned to just find, like Amadeus stated before, stay in the present. Even though I'm not where I would like to be, I always acknowledge what I've already accomplished and where I am today. And I look back at who I was then and who I am now. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate how my experiences brought me there.
That's beautiful. And I love that we're once again bringing in the term gratitude. And gratitude is a very powerful state of being, right?
Yes.
It sounds simple and it sounds fluffy, but it's really what brings you to the present
Yeah,
in
it does.
acknowledging where you are in your own existence, right?
Yes.
And you're a mom to 3. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Or happy belated Mother's Day, I should say. But to me, Mother's Day is every day anyway. But I love that you're going to include your daughters in your presentation.
Yes.
And congratulations on being such a fine example to
Thank you.
not only them but to all us women.
They're my driving force. So thank you. I appreciate it.
No, we see it and we acknowledge it. And my favorite saying is, "Leave things better than we found them."
Yes.
Brava. All right, you guys, don't go anywhere. I hope that was enticing for you, because I got to tell you, what she brings with her flow art is going to be therapeutic, I promise you. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Wilhelmina's performance.